Hey, everybody, guess what? We're back. The Horror Spot podcast has returned. I'm Blake, he's Nick, and we got someone new with us today. Go ahead and introduce
Guys,
yourself.
how's it going? I'm Andrew.
What's up, Andrew? How you
Blake,
doing?
I gotta say, that was better than the shtick you just tried that we restarted.
It's good. It's good.
That was
Thank
much
you.
better.
Thank you. I try. All right, so it's been a while, huh?
Yeah, just a hot 3 years, something like that. Nothing,
Right?
nothing too
Yeah, it's
big, not
nothing.
that big of a deal.
Yeah, I feel like, there's been a lot of changes in the world since then, and,
Oh, like what?
I don't know, maybe like a fucking global pandemic that pretty much locked down everything and everyone for a couple of years.
I thought you were gonna say
Seems
Joe Biden being
familiar.
president.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, there is that too. Yeah.
What are we doing today?
Well, I think we're going to talk about Halloween Kills.
Yeah, we're gonna talk a whole lot of shit about it.
Why? It was
Yeah.
such a great movie.
I know, it's fantastic, right? You know what my favorite part was?
What's that?
Where they said Evil Dies Tonight.
When the movie ended. It was my favorite part.
That was pretty
Do you
good.
know what part? I was thinking about it today. Because I tried to watch it. I swear to God, I tried hard because I was like, you know what, we're gonna record tonight. Let me just catch up, refresh my memory. I got to the part where Lonnie Elam's on the ground and the cops. He asks him like, "Who are you talking about?" And he looks directly into the camera and says, "The boogeyman."
Yeah.
I cut that shit off immediately. I was done.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so that whole flashback scene, like when they do the flashbacks to 78, I mean, fucking spot on, right? They got
Oh, yeah,
the
it was
lighting
awesome.
down.
That was cool. That was
You
cool.
know,
That was
they got,
awesome. I like
you know,
that.
mostly everything, correct. I mean, obviously you can't go back in time to 1978, but they did a damn good job, especially with that fucking mask.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
great.
I mean,
Well, as close as they can. I don't think they can use the original mold, can they?
I don't think so. I'm not sure if it even still exists anymore. And of
Yeah,
course,
I mean, they got as close as possible without crossing any legal line or whatever it is.
yeah, I think I read somewhere that the effects lead, Christopher Nelson, sculpted as close as he could to make it look like the OG mask, but then also tweaking it here and there to more, kind of look like it could morph into the 40 years
Right,
later mask. Which, dude, kudos to Christopher Nelson.
Oh yeah, he fucking killed it. But what was really annoying is we were promised that sequence in 2018. It was supposed to be in that movie.
Really?
Yeah,
I
and
did not
that
know
was
that.
super early too. And obviously, David Gordon Green at this point has said a lot of things that he hasn't stuck to, but that's just one of them.
Yeah. Let's see what else. The guy that got to play Loomis. Boom. Spot on.
Oh yeah,
was
and
cool.
Oh, they did
what's
Loomis real.
You know what's
real
crazy?
well.
I read somewhere, I don't know if it's true or not, but he was working on the set. He wasn't even brought on to play that character. They just saw him and was
Oh.
like,
Yeah. I watched like Dead Meat's thing for it, and basically like the guy who played Loomis was just like a part of the set, like when
Yeah,
it's on
yeah.
the movie.
He was like a set designer or something.
Yeah, they're like, wow, you really look like Loomis. So they put him in there, and it wasn't like CGI or anything. He just
Well, did
really
they-
looked like Loomis.
they didn't use any makeup or
Yeah.
anything?
Well,
I don't-
yeah.
I
I mean, they had to.
I mean,
not
makeup.
like
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
not
prosthetics, I mean, not-
But it wasn't like CGI like The Irishman.
Well, yeah, I meant prosthetics, obviously not makeup.
I
Yeah, but
don't
apparently-
think they did. I don't think
Yeah.
they did.
Well,
They probably
he
used
looks-
some kind of makeup.
He looks spitting image like
yeah,
Donald
yeah,
Pleasance.
yeah. Well, that's what they were all saying. Like, wow, he really looks like Pleasance. But apparently, he didn't sound like Pleasance at all.
right.
So when you
Oh
see
well,
him
yeah,
in
they
the
hired
movie-
they hired an impersonator for 2018
Yeah,
because the
yeah.
opening sequence is Loomis talking about Michael.
Yeah, so it's not actually his voice. It's a guy who looks like Loomis, and then they use somebody else's voice to like dub over it that sounds like him.
When before this movie went into production, and before David Gordon Green wrote it, even though he said that all three of these movies were written at the same time and they were all supposed to happen at the same time, but they weren't. Yeah, I read somewhere that he brought the original script for Kills to John Carpenter, and he pitched an idea where Loomis gets killed in the very beginning of the movie.
What?
Yeah, so like
No.
the scene where he comes in to shoot Michael when Michael's putting his mask back on, Apparently, Michael gets the drop on him somehow and viciously murders him on camera, and then that's where the movie would go from.
I think that's a terrible idea. And
Yeah,
a huge disservice to the legacy of Donald Pleasance.
Loomis is the greatest Ahab of all time. He's like the number one guy. And that would make sense for when...
Yeah, it would have been a horrible waste of his character.
That would make sense for when Marion Chambers was in the car and she says, "This one's for Loomis," and goes to shoot him. If that wasn't the reason he also wrote that, then why? Because it's not like they ever implied that Michael killed Loomis. Loomis just died somehow. We don't even know how.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. They don't say how he dies. Presumably, probably of a heart attack, all the stress over the years,
right?
Things like that. But I mean, it sucks that they never reveal that, because I mean, Sam Loomis is such a huge part of the Halloween, universe. But at the same time, it's like, okay, so his part in this tale is done,
Right.
So he's died. Let's move on. Let's focus on the Shape. Let's focus on Laurie, going forward, and blah blah blah.
Right. Well, that was even the thing in 2018 everyone hated was Dr. Sartain. Like, they're still they already tried it before. It didn't work. So why are we still bringing Loomis up? It's cool to have him in flashback sequences unless they do something ridiculous with that and ruin him somehow that way. Stop bringing him up, because people 40 years in the future are not going to still be talking about Loomis. Obviously, he was important when Michael was young, and then even 21's still young. He hasn't been around for how long? It's weird that people are still bringing him up.
Yeah, I mean, he can't really be a part of the newer movies, anyway, because Michael and Laurie are just, they're old now, so it wouldn't make sense.
Well,
for
yeah,
Loomis
Donald Pleasance died 27 years ago.
Yeah. He'd be 100, he'd be over 100, basically.
Yeah. It's
I mean, unless there were some extenuating circumstances that happened to Michael Myers or Laurie, both of them would have outlived Sam Loomis anyway.
Right.
If we're being realistic about it, he would have died a long time ago anyway.
Well, he was in his 70s by the time H2O came out, I think, or before he died. I mean, when he died.
Yeah, I want to say he was in his early 70s or maybe late 70s.
Yeah, it's like, come on. And he was going strong with those Halloweens. He said he would do them for the rest of his life, and he did, obviously. But anyway, enough ranting.
But yeah, let's circle
Loomis
back
fan
to kills. Right? I mean, there's the Losers Club. Why can't we be the Loomis Club?
Hey.
But let's circle back to kills, right? So we know what they did right with kills. Obviously, it's in the title. There are some pretty brutal fucking kills in this movie.
Right.
The ones that I would like to point out are the ones near the beginning against the husband and wife, where homeboy just gets the shit stabbed out of him, and she gets fucking stabbed with a fluorescent light bulb in the goddamn throat.
So there's two things about that whole sequence. There's two things about that whole sequence. One that I really like and one that I didn't like at all. When he is in the bathroom and the husband turns the light onto the bathroom and Michael punches the light, I thought that was so out of character.
It was, yes.
It's like, why would he care?
Yeah, it's a big spooky.
Yeah, but why would he care if he can see him now? That's like the whole point.
Yeah.
Unless his plan was to use it as a weapon, and that was his plan the whole time. But even then, why didn't he just break it first? It just didn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, it ruined the surprise, right? At least putting myself in Michael's shoes, which is very presumptuous of me to say, but it gave away his position, right? So it's like, okay, breaks the light, can't see me, dude freaks out. Hey, there's a big fella in here. He's wearing a monster mask.
Spot on.
That guy. Thank you. And then after that, he goes to work. I fucking love the part where he throws the drone out of the bathroom. I laughed out loud.
See,
that part.
that is right in line with his character, though. It's like playing the games.
Yep.
That makes sense. If
fucking with you.
Yeah, messing with you, he's setting up scenarios.
Knows he's gonna kill you.
He wants him to know he's there. He wants them to be scared. When he's already killed him and he's got him on the table and he's stabbing the knives into his back, like you said. The way James Jude Courtney, I'll tell you what, I don't know what they're paying him. He deserves so much more money. This guy he's the best Michael Myers since sometimes I even like Dick. I like Dick Warlock more than Nick Castle sometimes. And he's the best one since '82.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, touching on the Warlock and Nick Castle thing, right? It's like, I mean, there were so many people who played the Shape in the original movie, right? I mean, you got Tommy Lee Wallace playing him in some scenes. You got Deborah Hill playing him in some scenes. You know, you got that one fucking guy, Tony Moran, who plays him in
what
that
a
one
prick.
scene. Yeah, dude, fuck that guy.
Fuck yeah.
But I
Hey,
mean,
Tony
I
Moran.
don't know
Hey,
enough
Tony
about them.
Moran, if you're listening, and we know that you are, go fuck yourself, you asshole.
but I mean, the Nick Castle walk, nobody can imitate that. The closest person who's come close is, of course, James Jude Courtney, because you look at the Dick Warlock, where it's that slow, methodical, I'm going to catch you no matter what
Yeah.
kind of walk, you know. But I agree. I mean, Dick Warlock, like Halloween 2 was really the first Halloween movie I ever watched. So like my introduction to the Halloweeniverse was Dick Warlock. And just that slow, you know, like I said, methodical walk, it's fucking creepy.
Yeah.
And, you know, it hits all, you know, all the right spots in the chillometer kind of,
Yeah.
you know?
Like not moving the arms at all.
Yeah.
Well, the
exactly.
weirdest thing about Michael Myers is the way he moves. He only moves one body part at a time. I like the new thing. That was one of the lines I liked in the movie was when Hawkins said he was a 6-year-old boy in a grown man's body. When he's moving his body to grab the knives and he's like looking at it like he's intrigued by it.
Like really, excited and like
It's like how a
anticipating it.
kid would react to something that they love to do.
It's like, ooh, look at this.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Well,
this is
I mean,
good.
he wasn't moving his lower body, right? He was twisting, reaching over, grabbing a knife,
Right.
coming back, stab, repeat. You know, it's not like he'd take a step over, grab a knife, step back, blah.
Right.
You know, anything like that. It's very calculated movements. And I think Carpenter has even said that Michael Myers is supposed to move like a cat. You know, so it's very, you know, how cats will like reach out and bap something.
Yeah.
You know, shit like that.
Right.
It's kind of
dude,
similar.
yeah, but I mean, James Jude Courtney fucking kills it. You know, he's killed it in Halloween 2018. He killed it in Halloween Kills. And I have no doubt he'll kill it in Halloween Ends.
I mean, it looks, from what we've seen, it looks pretty good in those sequences with him and Laurie in the kitchen.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
I can't speak for, and Andrew, we'll get to this, the other guy, but so who did you absolutely hate in Halloween Kills?
Oh, God. Okay.
I have a few.
So, yeah, I've got a few on my bucket list as well. So
There's a few.
let me preface this by saying I am all about bringing back legacy characters.
Yeah.
Y'all know who I'm talking about. There's
Yeah.
a few of them in this one.
There's two that are just dumb
Yes.
as bricks in this movie.
Absolutely. What I am totally against is legacy characters trying to, I guess, ingratiate themselves in this scene, right? Like, okay, so we'll start with Marion Chambers.
Yeah.
Nancy Stevens, she's great. She's a great actress. It was great to see her on screen again, but she's old. You have no business going out there hunting Michael Myers. You should have stayed at the fucking bar and prayed for Tommy and Lindsay.
Well,
Okay.
here's sorry to interrupt you, but here's the one thing that bugs me about that. How the fuck does she know Tommy and Lindsay?
Probably some off-screen backstory from
Well,
78.
sure, but let's hear it. I mean, come on. She spent
It's probably just like Michael tied the town together through travesty or something.
but she's not even from Haddonfield. So before this movie,
Oh, yeah, I don't know then.
So before this movie, she was, I mean, if we're counting H2O2, then she was in a scene with Loomis in the first movie for like 5 minutes. And then she was a more important character in Halloween 2. Tommy's still not involved. She's never met him. H2O, God knows where Tommy is. He doesn't even exist anymore, really. So when did they have the opportunity to meet?
Exactly.
Also, he's a
Off-screen.
little kid. So what? Let's say he's 50 now. At what age did they start hanging out? Because she's old as rocks. So it's like, what?
Yeah.
It doesn't. They need. I don't like when they do stuff like that.
We need a comic where Tommy and Marion just get shit faced in the bar and hook up for a real shameful one night stand.
Right. Absolutely. But okay, so we've got Marion Chambers, right? Glad to see Nancy Stevens back, but I think she should have had a more minor of a role. You know, like go get him, Tiger, rah rah rah. And then you've got Lindsay Wallace. Great to see, Kyle Richards back on the screen. I don't know how long it's been since she's acted in a movie. We all know she was on, Real Housewives of, Hollywood.
Oh,
I think.
she acts in that good old fashioned white trash TV show too.
Yeah. But it was cool to see her back because they had never brought back Lindsay Wallace before. They've tried to bring back Tommy Doyle, right? In H6, Paul Rudd, what up?
Oh yeah, Andrew,
yeah,
his starring,
that was his first role.
Yep,
Yeah,
introducing Paul Stephen Rudd.
Paul Rudd, man.
But bringing Lindsay Wallace back, that was cool. Okay, I can dig it. Lonnie Elam, see, that was a bit of a stretch for me because he had a scene in the first movie. He's supposed to be this bully. Right. And then they have to cobble together this thing where he saw Michael Myers for a minute. Now all of a sudden he's fucking traumatized for the next 40 years.
Right,
he's going to become best buds with Tommy Doyle and Lindsay Wallace. And then, Nurse Marion. Okay, great. Whatever. That being said, fucking Sheriff Brackett. Okay.
Oh, I forgot about. Oh my God.
God damn it. That whole mob scene where they're kicking Michael's ass and he's like, "Hey, Michael, everyone deserves one good scare." Fucking come on.
Yeah, they're really reaching for those callbacks. It's so cringy.
Member berries from South Park.
Yeah.
A lot of these characters were complete member berries.
Yeah.
Member? Don't you remember?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, okay, anybody who knows the Halloween movies knows who fucking Sheriff Brackett is.
Right.
Everybody knows, especially, in Halloween 1 and 2, even though 2 isn't canon anymore, right? Everybody knows that Michael Myers killed Annie Brackett. Okay, so there doesn't need to be a fucking rehash of why Lee Brackett is important to this series, right? That whole thing, that whole sequence, he killed my daughter 40 years ago, it didn't need to be fucking said.
No.
Unless you're some cave dweller who has never seen a fucking Halloween movie before or had somebody explain things to you. Don't get me wrong, I'm not advocating mansplaining or Halloween-splaining, but please educate yourselves on these movies. It just, it made me audibly groan.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Some of his scenes where it's just kind of like, all right, old man, it's time for your heart medication.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's like they're catering to a younger fan base, but they're also disrespecting a character at the same time. That doesn't even need to be there to begin with. If he was talking to Lori, by the way, they didn't even have a conversation while she was there. It's well, what are you here for?
Yeah,
they're definitely catering.
Oh, definitely catering. I mean, Allison and Brackett had a conversation, I was like, you killed my daughter, blah, blah, blah. That's about it.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so let me get this straight, dude. You're a fucking security guard. You're going to abandon your post. You're an old retired cop, so you have to have that cop mentality still in you, I would hope. You got this fucking mob. Why not do your goddamn job and try and keep the peace rather than going out and, hunting down this clearly able-bodied serial killer who will fuck you up if he gets the chance?
I mean, I'd say you're thinking way too much into a ridiculous part of the movie.
Yeah.
Listen, you're putting more thought. You're putting more thought into it than David Gordon Green did. So,
well, I mean, David Gordon Green did the best he could. I have no doubt that there are probably a lot of people who like Halloween Kills, but me being a big Halloween fan, and I think a lot of people who are fans of these movies tend to be overly critical, especially when there is a lot of pandering to fan service. Like I said, that whole, Brackett scene, it made me groan. It's just like, oh, come on. Which brings me to my next person, who I'm sure you could guess is Tommy fucking Doyle.
Yeah. Where's
Macho Man Tommy Doyle?
Yeah.
Okay, so where do I begin? Where do I begin with Tommy Doyle? Okay, so aside from his creepy little fucking monologue at the beginning on the stage.
Yeah, so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right? Very uncomfortable. He's like that creepy uncle that comes over at Christmas. He's like, Santa's watching you.
Yeah, and he's so drunk and he's like making an ass of himself.
He's getting super wasted and going into 9/11 conspiracies that got debunked a decade ago.
Exactly. I mean, okay, so sure, you got fucked up as a kid. I get it. Whatever. You're trying to overcome this trauma. I get it. I've been through some shit in my personal life. And when I say I get it, I get it. But to basically fucking drive all over town, rounding up a posse to go look for one man when you should be letting the cops do their fucking job and go get him. Just fucking stay out of it, dude. There is a reason why you didn't die in 1978. Number one, that was Laurie Strode. Number two, you ran fucking away. If you would have stayed in that house, little kid, you might have gotten killed. And well, guess what happened to you in this movie, Tommy Doyle? You got your head fucking bashed in. Why? Because you had to be the macho man and go after Michael Myers.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're really pissed off about Tommy Doyle.
You know what?
am.
You know what? I'm in the fuck Tommy Doyle club now.
Yeah, fuck him.
Well, and it's just, I don't know, man. Like, the whole thing was just
The
ridiculous.
shame of it is, the actor they casted as Tommy was great. He was fine. The writing of the character was fucking bullshit. The worst scene from Tommy Doyle, the worst part of the movie is when he's talking to Laurie and he's like, "You protected me 40 years ago and I'm going to protect you now." If there was a drinking game for how many times they say the number 40 in this movie, you'd be blackout drunk in the first 30 minutes of this movie.
Remember?
It's insane.
Remember?
I know, but we all know. That's the whole thing. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's the other thing. So many callbacks, and it's like, I feel like if you're watching, Halloween Kills in the late 2010s, you've probably at one point in your life seen the original Halloween.
Yeah, even if you haven't, these Halloween 2018 stood alone really well. You don't really even need to see the first one to understand this woman was attacked by this guy. He's back now. It's not rocket science.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, they did this thing. They left the ending ambiguous, just like Halloween 1978. Shot out a window. Oh, he's there. Look away. Look back. He's gone. Same thing. Trapped in a basement. It's on fire. 1 minute he's standing there, and next minute he's not. Did he get out? Did he pass out from carbon monoxide poisoning? Is he on fire? Who fucking knows? He's the goddamn shape.
Can you imagine Michael going out from carbon monoxide poisoning?
Yeah.
I mean, because they were going with the whole realistic thing. He's not supernatural. Okay, well, that means he's a man. So, yeah, he could go out from carbon monoxide poisoning. Would I want him to go out from carbon monoxide poisoning? Probably not, because
lame as fuck.
That would be lame as fuck, and that would be doing a disservice to the character of the Shape and Michael Myers.
Well, I don't think they care about doing that to characters.
the only definitive end to Michael, and even it's not canon anymore, but decapitation. That's it.
Right.
That's the only way
Yeah,
that's it.
Destroy the body.
That is the most satisfying ending in any Halloween movie. I don't care what anybody says.
Sure.
He's fucking dead. There's no. I mean, there was because they figured it out.
Well, and of course they retconned it later.
Yeah, but
it's
set in stone. Like, you blow him up. Okay, maybe something happened. He got away. Whatever. You chop she lopped his head off. He was straight up dead. There's no getting around it.
Yeah, and it was so good because it was definite. Right? It's like, okay, he's not coming back from this.
And it was werewolves, vampires, cut off their fucking head, they're dead.
And Laurie in that movie was perfect for me. It was like the first real confrontation. Everything and again, people are acting like this. I like 2018, but people are acting like it's the first time Laurie stood up to Michael. It's not. It happened 20 years ago. And she won, just like, I mean, she obviously didn't in this last, either of the last two, actually. So it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah. I'm honestly glad they didn't kill off Lindsay Wallace, right? I mean, that whole scene in the park, to me, was creepy as fuck. Like, the aftermath of the killings.
Right.
And I gotta say, that whole
daughter,
scene...
Right?
No,
that's Allison.
Yeah, that's Allison.
Okay.
Lindsay Wallace is one of the legacy characters from 78. To touch on that park scene, I thought the whole thing with the Desert Eagle where Michael kicks the door and spins the gun around was fucking hilarious. It was clown shoes, but it's fucking hilarious.
That's complete comedy out of... It's funny, but...
It's funny, but why is it here? What is happening?
Also, why do you have a fucking Desert Eagle?
Right.
Jesus fucking Christ. You need
also,
that much
she's firing it like it's a BB gun, too. Like that. If you've never fired just a gun before, a Desert Eagle would fly out of your hands.
Yeah, dude.
Especially walking forward,
Right. There's a shooting range that my buddy Ray and I would go to sometimes. And one time they did have a Desert Eagle there that you could rent for, by the hour. It was pretty expensive. But we both went in and we fucking rented this Desert Eagle. The recoil on that thing literally rattles your fucking bones.
Look, a 9mm is beyond startling for someone who's never fired a gun before. and she's just like swinging it around willy nilly.
Right? Blah blah blah.
I mean,
no
obviously,
recoil, no
obviously, I
nothing.
can't believe we're complaining about gun realism with the
Guns,
scene
yeah.
where a gun got swung around and she shot herself
Got
in the
twists
face.
around and she somehow is still able to pull the trigger at
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
time. Gun is
Whatever,
twisting
yeah,
her
whatever.
way. Whatever.
Well, it's
It
fun-
doesn't
it's
whatever.
fun- the
Yeah.
funny thing about the funny thing I thought about that scene was like after it happens, Michael's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
right?
He's just like, what
This guy's
is fucking happening?
sitting there,
Okay.
stares at it for a second. He's like, yeah, whatever.
It's just like funniest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah. It's like, well, thanks, gun. Did the work for me.
Guns
But
do
what I
kill
was
people.
going to say was the aftermath of that scene, right? When Tommy shows up and Lonnie shows up and Lindsay shows up, and they find everybody with the Halloween 3 masks on, and you see poor Marion hanging from that chain with the witch mask on,
Yep.
and those two on the merry-go-round with the mask on.
Oh yeah.
That's creepy, right? And then
That
you
was
get
cool. That was a good. Yeah, that was a good shot.
Well, that was the first time
Absolutely.
Michael's killed like kids. I guess you can consider Annie and Linda.
Like,
they were 17.
14
Yeah, these were
Yeah.
children.
Well,
Yeah,
and
I mean,
yeah, what was
to me,
the-
it was
Well, he- I
left
mean,
a
he
little
only-
ambiguous.
Well, he
that
only killed
them.
one of the trick or
yeah,
treaters.
Did he?
the skull mask kid.
Yeah, and
Oh,
then the other
okay.
two left their masks behind. That's how he got them.
And in the movie before that, he killed that kid, but it's
Oh,
probably
yeah,
more likely
yeah,
he killed
the
him
kid-
because he had a rifle.
The kid that just wanted to dance.
Yeah, but his dad.
Oh yeah, and then he no scopes Dr. Sartain in the bus.
Right?
He's like, "Don't you blow!"
Yeah, shoots him.
Gotta get the fuck out of here.
That poor kid, he must be like going through puberty because his voice was just like, Dad,
Yeah, it was horrible. It was
Yeah,
horrible.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he kills that kid, breaks his neck, and steals his dad's sweet ass Bronco.
Yeah.
But the standout
Bringing
scene
the Bronco back, by the way, it's coming back.
Exactly. But the standout scene for me, tying back into Kyle Richards and Lindsay Wallace, is when she dumps that bag of candy and fills it with bricks
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
fucking whacks Michael Myers
Yeah.
with it. Like, no thought to it whatsoever. Like, she sees him standing by that SUV in classic creepy Michael mode. She freaks out, probably pees a little, and then she's like, all right, bitch, you're mine.
Yeah.
I'm going to get you. But ultimately, he overcomes her. There's a chase scene, which I thought was really cool. Classic shape stalking. And then you don't know what happened to her until she ends up at the hospital some way, somehow.
No.
Um,
No. When Tommy
Oh, that's
and
right. They find
Lonnie,
her.
yeah,
That's right. Thank you. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and then
Yes.
they have some heart-to-heart for some reason, even though there's a killer on the loose, and they sit around in a car talking about their childhood. But whatever, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
that's-
yeah. Good time
yeah.
to get nostalgic. Remember Paradise?
yeah, remember?
I was kind of butthurt that they killed Tommy Doyle, but whatever, dude. You made your bed, you lay in it now.
Yeah.
However, the one person my burning hatred will always
Lonnie,
be for no, not Lonnie, fucking Sheriff Barker, the most useless
Oh, yeah.
goddamn character in 2018
Oh, my
and
God.
this movie.
Oh, stupid.
Oh,
I hope
is
he
the one
dies
in-
and kills.
The
I
cowboy
hope-
hat.
Yeah, cowboy hat sheriff. What are we gonna
He's not
do?
the-
Cancel Halloween? Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah. He
That
just,
guy.
the whole mob mentality's running rampant. What does he do? He just sits down. He's like, oh, I guess they're
Oh
going to
my
just
god.
murder this
Yeah,
innocent guy
it's so
now. Whatever.
stupid.
You are the sheriff
yeah.
of a town. You know what this movie needed? Fucking Sheriff Meeker. Why?
Yeah, right.
Because Sheriff Meeker had the balls to fucking call the National
Bro.
Guard.
That motherfucker, the cowboy hat dude, should have pulled out his gun and shot it at the ceiling. Like, all you motherfuckers need to
I think it was
calm
way
down now.
past that point by the time.
yeah.
it was
Oh, yeah.
way.
Mass
They were way
hysteria.
beyond. Yeah.
Way beyond that.
Yeah, well,
Well,
I mean,
no, in that
it's
scene
one
when they're
thing to snap
chasing him
people
up
out,
when they're in that scene when they're chasing the guy up, the umbrella guy up the stairs, they're also
Mhm.
attacking the police on their way up.
They are. Yeah.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, because
Yep.
Tommy was in the hospital right before that, like, fuck you guys, you're not doing your job, we're gonna do it now. And then they just went crazy and started attacking everyone that wasn't them.
The whole hospital scenes, man, really.
It was a
derailed
side
it.
quest. What the hell was
Yeah,
that?
it was a side. Yeah.
It made
was
no sense.
Pointless.
One of the annoying
I will
things
s-
about that is when he first appears in that car, he's like listening to Figaro on the radio or whatever. I don't know if it was a fucking tape or CD or not a tape, obviously, but he's not even the Figaro guy from the 2018 one in the beginning of the movie.
There's a lot wrong with that movie. The definitely the best thing you can say about it is like the action. That's definitely the thing I like the most. With the firefighters, man, like that.
Oh, yeah,
man.
except they showed
Balls
the
to the wall.
entire sequence in the first trailer, so it was like,
Yeah, I wish they had.
They did.
Yeah.
They gave a I mean, I don't know who cuts the trailers or who puts them out. I don't know if it's Blumhouse or Universal. But
It's all marketing PR firms because I doubt the writers and shit. Like, hey, don't put all the best parts of the movie in the trailer.
Yeah.
So
oh,
everybody
I'm
sees it
sure,
before.
I'm sure they have no say in.
Yeah.
yeah,
The only
I
thing
mean,
about that scene, I wish the firefighters like fought back a lot more. But
Oh,
Oh
you're
yeah,
right,
well
he's still pretty badass.
he sprayed that like really light hose at him when he was walking towards him.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
what
that's
the
what I
fuck are you
wonder.
doing?
That's what if they were firefighters from Haddonfield, they would have immediately been like, "This is Laurie Strode's house, and that's fucking Michael Myers.
Or
this is not time to play
Fucked off
around."
and left and
Yeah.
not fought at all. That would make
Yeah,
more
Yeah, it would
sense.
be like,
Ran,
"Oh, okay,
you know?
time to go."
Yeah,
he
fuck
who runs away
this.
lives to survive another day. I mean, it's that old saying. Yes, that opening scene where Laurie's house is burning, the shape walks out with that Halligan tool. Personally, the coolest thing for me is when he stabs that guy and just like lifts him up.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
to
Oh,
me,
yeah.
that was more Jason than Michael Myers.
Yeah, it was.
but
yeah.
it was still a
Kinda.
cool visual. For
Well, it was
me.
cool. The silhouette of him holding him up in the air with the fire in the background. It was so
Well,
cool.
Oh yeah.
You know
Oh
what
yeah.
the best part
So
about that was? There was like a real logical reason how Michael survived the fire in the basement. Like he went in the pantry that had a sliding metal door, so that made sense how
Well,
somebody could survive
Well,
that.
here's the thing that's
Mhm.
not realistic about that, right? So it was a gun locker in her basement that she had hidden underneath a countertop, right? Why does she have a case that she locks her gun in, or her guns in a secret lair in the basement?
Yeah, right, yeah.
It makes no sense, and it's fireproof, I guess. And he didn't die from like smoke inhalation or anything like that. It doesn't.
or
None of it makes
heat
any sense.
exhaustion. 'Cause,
Yeah,
I mean, that
literally.
thing had
The number of things.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
that
I mean, I
thing
guess
had
it depends
had
on how long it. I mean, it probably didn't take them that long to get there. I mean, like you could probably go in there and like.
Well,
not,
we're not even
like,
bringing
choked
up
to
that
death.
he was shot with a 44 in the shoulder. He got his hand blown off by a
Yeah.
shotgun. He didn't bleed to death, but no.
He also got like stabbed, didn't he?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. But it's
Yeah,
like
I mean,
no, but David
not-
Gordon Green is focusing on the humanity of Michael Myers, though. So
Well, I would like to point out, not to mention that fucking gun locker, that gun room had a sliding metal door, so you can imagine the heat coming off of that thing.
oh yeah,
I mean, any normal person would have fucking died of heat exhaustion. Like, boom, done. You're toast.
He's not human. I don't know why
well,
they're
yeah.
trying to convince us that he's normal. He's not.
Yeah, I mean, he's not human. He never has been normal. Whatever. But yeah. So okay, so let's talk about that hospital scene and why it should never have been in the movie.
Well, where do we even
Okay.
begin? Jesus Christ!
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Holy shit, we're gonna be here all fucking night.
Like Laurie and I totally forget his name. The OG cop dude who's in that
Bracken.
next door.
Hawkins.
Oh, Hawkins, right.
Hawkins. Yeah, complete waste of their
Oh
characters.
yeah, and he's a love interest now. What the
Yeah.
fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Dude, when I saw that movie the first time, I saw it in the theaters, and then I waited for it to premiere on Peacock that same night, and I watched it again because I needed to see it again to be like, maybe I just didn't like it the first time. Nothing changed after my second viewing. Nothing changed at all. But that one scene where they're like, again, I don't know why there's so many heart-to-hearts in this movie, but they're talking about the olden days and all this stuff. I was gonna rip. My
It's complete
fucking,
nostalgia.
Yeah,
It's
I was gonna
member
rip.
berries.
I was
That's all
gonna
it is,
rip
it's
my
member
hair
berries.
out if he came out and said and implied that Karen was his daughter or something. I was gonna lose my fucking mind.
Same.
It seemed like
Uh,
they were leading up to it.
Yeah, I mean, I got real tired of Hawkins, which, by the way, I think is a shout out to Stranger Things.
Absolutely.
What up, Stranger Things? Season 4 was great, by the way, but
Yeah,
we
it
could
was
talk
really
about
good.
that on another episode.
Yeah, and we should because it's hands down my favorite season.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the
I've
thing
only
that,
seen season 1.
oh man, you got to catch up.
Yeah, you have
for
to.
sure.
It's so good. It gets it
Um,
goes way. Sorry, hold on. It goes way beyond like the it's not like a kiddie teen show anymore. Like people are getting smoked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they
heard,
really,
like,
they
season
really
2
brought
was
back
not great, so I didn't catch up on it, and then
season
everybody's
2.
obsessed with it now.
Or was it 3 where 11 goes to Chicago? That was season
No,
3.
that was season 2.
Oh yeah, it was horrible. I hated it.
Yeah. I look at season 2 as a stepping stone, right? It's okay. We have to step over this to get to the bigger, better things.
Yeah, well, they were figuring their shit out. Once everyone said, "Hey, don't do that again," the Duffer Brothers didn't do it again.
Exactly. Which I think a lot of people in Hollywood should fucking do.
Welcome to
I
this
mean, I love the
episode on
first
Stranger Things.
That's right.
Let's go. Okay, yeah.
But I think we'll talk about Stranger Things in a different episode. But coming back to Kills. So the whole hospital scene. Now, I get it, right? The working title of Kills was Mob Rules, right? And there's a lot of parallels to real world political stuff going on there where you have mob mentality.
Well, they're
us
trying hard
versus them.
to do that.
Well,
but
yeah, but
Yeah.
they were trying a little too hard, right?
Way too
Way too hard.
There's a
there
difference
were-
between like them playing it on the nose, like being a little too obvious with it, and what they did, where they just beat you over the fucking head.
Well,
with
it's
the message.
crazy. Jamie Lee Curtis was doing interviews before the movie came out, comparing the movie to like the Me Too movement and like referencing George Floyd. And everyone's like, why are you downplaying all these real life things going on with this slasher movie? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, to me, those were just buzzwords.
Oh, absolutely.
Buzz-
They
words.
tried to be way too topical with it.
Absolutely. And there was none of that in the movie. There was nothing relevant to Me Too. There was nothing relevant to George Floyd in there. Now, if they're using all the people that Michael Myers killed 40 years ago, again with the 40 years thing, as an allegory to George Floyd, I don't think that was the cool thing to do. Because what the fuck? Why would you do that?
Yeah, besides the fact that it doesn't at all, why are you capitalizing on it? Like it
Exactly.
But it's crazy. They're like, mob mentality is bad unless it's at the end of the movie and you find the right guy. Then you can form a mob and fight him.
Yeah. They're always the right guy, right?
Exactly. And then they fucking find him and he murders them all anyway.
Yeah.
By the way, if you haven't listened to the Halloween Kills soundtrack, I believe the music that's playing in that scene is called Payback. That is the standout track off the Halloween Kills soundtrack. Go listen to it. It's great. It is awesome.
I'd say the entire soundtrack is pretty good.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, and
Oh, yeah.
we'll get into that, but let's get through all these horrible characters first.
Yeah. I mean, with John
Yeah.
Carpenter, even though like the only thing he had to do with the movie was like the soundtrack, he's as good at making music as he is movies.
Absolutely.
I mean,
When
I'd
it
say
comes to-
he lost his magic a little bit with the making movie part of it, but
Yeah, well, I mean, Escape from LA, I thought it was a masterpiece, but I don't know about you.
Yeah. I mean, love him or hate him, John Carpenter is who John Carpenter is. He's
Oh,
revered.
no. Yeah.
And-
For every Escape from LA, he had They Live, The Thing, Halloween,
Yeah,
so on and so forth.
exactly.
And then, Ghost of Mars. But
and a little movie called Vampires. Who's counting?
Who?
Right? And then the most cash grabby of them all, no offense, John Carpenter, Memoirs of an Invisible Man with Chevy Chase is a John
God.
Carpenter movie.
Oh,
I've never
Did not know
Jesus.
heard
that.
of that, and I'm a big John Carpenter fan, so I'm
Christ.
just assume that it's not good.
I believe he said that he was just on full-on mercenary mode. Like
Well,
he needed.
It's funny.
Yeah.
I've heard more about his Elvis biopic starring Kurt Russell more than I've heard of that movie. So
Jesus.
There you go.
That is good.
anyway,
But yeah, man, circling back to that hospital scene, to me, it was just completely unnecessary. Okay, so there are parallels between that scene and then like the mob scene in Halloween 4, where the bartender rallies up his posse. They go out looking for Michael Myers. I believe that was a greater sequence than what we got in Halloween Kills because less is more. They showed less. It's like, okay, so here are these hillbillies. They're like, well, let's go check out the sheriff's office. Oh, they're all dead. It was Michael Myers. Well, guess what? We'll kill him. He killed my son for it, at that point, 10 years ago. Things like that. So these guys take it into their own whatever. Where am I going with this? Oh,
Well-
right. Less is more. Thank you. But I mean, this whole sequence of kills where it's like evil dies tonight, it was just so blown over
Yeah,
the
yeah,
top.
Yeah.
well, you
Yeah,
made a
yeah.
perfect point, and there's a great explanation. I mean, a great comparison in Halloween 4 is when they shoot that kid in the bush. They found someone they thought was Michael Myers. They killed him quick, and that was it. Whoopsies, it's not him. They dragged that scene on. How long was it? It had to be like a
At least a
15-minute
chunk of the
sequence.
movie.
15, 20 minutes at least.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And just
that's it's not
unnecessary.
just Halloween Kills that does it. It's a lot of movies nowadays where they get this message and they want to be real topical and they beat you over the head with it
Yeah,
rather than like expect the audience to be smart and like able to get the nuances of it and like, oh, I see what they're saying there. I get the parallel, like the analogy. But so many of these writers nowadays, it's like, no, these people are stupid. Let's really drive this message home so everybody gets it.
Yeah, it's like David Gordon Green is a great director. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he has any business making horror movies, but he's not Ty West. Like, this isn't a smart film. It's Halloween.
No, they could have touched on certain
Sure, a little
things. Touched on it, not fucking bludgeoned.
Dip their toes in. It felt like sometimes the mob scenes were more important than anything else going on.
Yeah. No, it's 100% like Blake said. Less is more. Like they went way too far with it.
And look at look what they must have spent on all that shit too. There's like 200 people outside, but they did not focus it in the right areas. It was too big and open.
Agreed. I think what they should have done with that whole hospital scene is, rather than, show this whole, big riot chasing this poor guy who probably, just wants help, right? Because he's probably off his fucking meds and doesn't know what's
probably
going
hurt
on.
Somebody like 30 years ago and trapped in his own mind.
Yeah, exactly. Rather than chasing this poor dude, and having him fucking commit suicide, by jumping off this building is the only way to get out. So that whole scene with Karen, where she's like, "I know it's not you," right? Love Karen or hate him. Don't get me wrong, Judy Greer, great actress. The character of Karen, take
don't
it out.
like her at all. I don't.
Fuck Karen. I'm so glad
I don't
they
like the
her.
character at all. But no. Yeah, Judy Greer, she's fine.
Yeah, she's great, and that's why it really sucks that she phoned this one in, because it was really bad.
All she had to do was shove his ass in a bathroom and leave him there.
Yeah, wait at the room and be like, "Oh, he went that way."
Yeah, got away. Whoops. And that's it. I mean, it was
the other weird thing about. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. I mean, I like that they had that carryover from the hospital. It's like, oh, here's another patient from the hospital that got out from the bus. Whatever. Continuity. Yay. But is it important to have this character's arc in this movie with so many other arcs going on at the same time? No, absolutely not.
No.
Well, it's like, where was the payoff? There was nothing.
Yeah.
It was nothing.
Well, I mean, there was
the message was mob mentality is bad, and it's like,
again,
yeah, thanks.
They went right back to mob. They went right back to mob mentality when it was fitting. It doesn't add up.
Yes.
Oh yeah. When it was actually like when you want to get them all together.
Now we know for sure this is the guy.
Yeah.
Right.
But the annoying thing, the other annoying thing.
Make sure to bring your iron.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. The other annoying thing about that sequence with Karen was like, okay, sure, he's not Michael Myers, but he did also escape from a maximum security mental hospital. Why are you just approaching him? You don't know what he's capable of.
That is absolutely true. Which leads me to my case: just shove him in a fucking bathroom and leave him there.
Yeah.
And then walk away. Oh, he went that way, like you said.
Yeah. Come on.
But you asked what the payoff is on that scene. I think the payoff was the Christopher Nelson splattered mental patient at the bottom of the hospital.
That was the best part of that whole arc. Was like, ooh, that is fucking.
That was
terrible.
ridiculous. Like the scene where he's like smashing the window out. It's like all slow and the music's real nice. It's like a really
trying
sad,
to make it so dramatic.
Well, it's like a really sad ending for a misunderstood character, and then it's like, after that scene, show his horribly mutilated body though. It's like, what?
It's like part of it could have been like a fucking Lassie movie, right? Oh, Lassie, escape. Oh, Lassie got caught in a bear trap.
Yeah.
Look at that. But yeah, so I mean, okay, Halloween Kills had a big buildup, and I think, love it or hate it, it is what it is. It's the middle movie of a trilogy, and we got Halloween Ends coming up in October, which hopefully in October, if nothing else crazy ass happens in this world. But
well, hold on, I got some wood right here.
But there are all kinds of crazy rumors and possible leaks going around the internet right now. I know other podcasters, YouTubers, what have you, have been reporting a little bit on this. Like, one of my favorite guys to watch is Jimmy Champagne. I think he's great. He's very excited about what he does, reporting on Halloween movies. I think he puts out great content. He's touched on a little bit of, stuff like this. The guys over at We Watched a Movie touched a little bit on this. But Nick and I, have some details that we want to share with you, Andrew. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask you if you believe this possible leak, and then we'll read it off to you.
So first we'll go over the ones that are not a big deal, like basic plot points that might be happening, but we'll give you the fat, juicy ones and let you know if we'll let you know when that time comes.
All right. So kind of pick the more feasible or believable.
Yeah. So first we're gonna go over the realistic ones. So the whole movie reportedly takes place only in Haddonfield, which is cool, but at the same time, I want them to move into Russellville and or maybe even to Smiths Grove. I want to see more than just Haddonfield, because they're not even creating a good Haddonfield. They need to expand a little bit.
I believe it'll probably take place just in Haddonfield, because I think they're really trying to drive home the point that he's the complete terror and bane of the town.
What do you think, Blake? Would you like to see Russellville? Have them talk about Charlie Bowles a little bit?
Charlie Bowles got up, kissed his wife and his kids goodbye, then went out to the garage and got himself a hacksaw. And then he came back inside and proceeded to... no, I haven't seen that movie a million times.
Yeah, I know. Have you read Charlie at the end of Night Dance? The short story? So good.
Yeah, it is. Super good. Would I like to see them expand out to Russellville? I think I would like to see parts of Russellville. And I think, Charlie Bowens is the Michael Myers of Russellville. He's this, urban legend. Up until Halloween 2018, I would imagine that Michael Myers, to anybody else except Laurie Strode, was this urban legend, who came back. But Charlie Bowens, of course, did not, as far as we know. But yeah, I would like to see other parts of the Halloween universe, explored. I think Russellville is one of those places that I think could be fitting. Maybe after Halloween ends, they could do Russellville, a Halloween story or something silly like that. But yeah, so as far as the realistic part for Halloween ends, so the whole movie takes place in Haddonfield. Okay, cool, no brainer.
Right.
I think we can all believe that.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Glass Hill is not a part of the plot. What the fuck is Glass Hill?
Yeah, I don't even know.
Is that where that radio tower is supposed to be?
I don't know. This must have been something that leaked out, and then this is just elaborating on it. Because I have never even heard of Glass Hill before, so...
Yeah, neither
the
have
only
I.
location in the Halloween universe I'm familiar with is Haddonfield. And Smiths Grove, that was
Well, Smiths Grove isn't even in Haddonfield.
Taught.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's outside. That's where Laurie taught in H2O or something, right?
No, that was
that was in
Hillcrest Academy in California.
Okay. Well, never mind. I know Haddonfield enough.
Yeah.
My question is, do they also have palm trees in the other parts of Illinois or Indiana or whatever the fuck it is?
They do not.
Or mountains, whatever. Okay. So they established that Smiths Grove is 150 miles away from Haddonfield, whatever. So, but it's still a location.
Actually, it's 72 miles.
Oh, 72 miles. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
I'm not even 100% sure if that's it.
Yeah.
Someone's going to come and be actually, it's 60
actually.
miles.
Right. If you know the distance between Smiths Grove and Haddonfield, please post a comment below. And what's strange to me, though, is people are going nuts over this radio tower. It's what focus does this radio tower have in Halloween Ends? Who fucking cares?
It was a set piece for the 78 sequence in the beginning of the movie. It doesn't matter at all. But of course, exactly. I bet they make it matter because people are talking about it.
Right? It's Michael is living under this radio tower. You think people would maybe, I don't know, fucking see him?
Yeah.
There.
Well, we'd have another
tower?
Bucky situation on our hands.
Good old Bucky. Yep. For those of you that don't know, Bucky was a throwaway character in Halloween Part 4, The Return of Michael Myers, who is, oddly enough, a fan favorite.
Just killed
For
for
some
doing his
reason-
job.
Yeah, Bucky, right? Yeah.
Just
Just
killed for
killed
doing his job.
his job. That's right. Rip to a real one.
Okay. So let's give you this one. And did you have something to say more about that, Blake?
No, sir.
Okay, so let's give you this one. So so we know for sure it's a few years in the future. I don't know how many years, but it's like 2 to 4 or whatever. Laurie is now writing a memoir about her experience with Michael Myers.
No.
Well, you'd be wrong.
Oh my god. But what? What? He just dips the fuck out after murdering that whole mob for 2
Yeah,
to 4
so,
years? Enough time for
apparently-
Laurie to write a book?
Yeah, apparently it's been, like I said, like 2 to 4 years, somewhere in that range. And
Yeah.
Laurie and Allison are living together at this point somewhere. I don't know where. I'm assuming in Haddonfield. It's got to be. But yeah, she's just turning into Loomis from the Halloween 2 zombie remake.
So that would mean that Michael has been on the loose for multiple Halloweens without doing anything then.
Oh yeah.
Correct.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Great. Off to a good start. Great start.
All right.
That's just the tip of the iceberg. Don't you wait.
That is the tip of the iceberg. Right. So it is confirmed that there is a character in Halloween Ends named Corey Carpenter.
Cunningham.
Cunningham. Thank
A
you.
little on the nose there.
Yeah,
Okay,
almost.
okay.
Almost.
That's Cunningham.
Other horror icon. Right. Corey Cunningham, who is played by Rowan Campbell in Halloween Ends. That is confirmed. That is a thing. But would you believe portions of Halloween Ends will contain a copycat Michael Myers killer?
Oh no! Don't say that. I mean, do I believe it? I mean, I could kind of believe it. I guess it would kind of make sense because it's a whole kind of urban legend come to life and proven true. Like, I could kind of see that because, like, in real life, copycat killers are a thing. They definitely happen. I'm going to say yes. I believe it.
According to what we have here, that is true.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
I
Unfortunately.
mean, in the real world, it makes sense, but, you know.
So the reason it's kind of 95% true at this point is because how long is the trailer, Blake? Like a minute and a half?
I believe so.
Yeah, so
just under.
in the trailer, there are very quick sequences. So the character has a ring on his right pinky finger. Okay. Oh, by the way, if anyone's here and they don't want to hear any of this, it's obviously too late for you. So leave if you don't want to hear any more. But he has a pinky ring on his right hand. And there are a few scenes where we see that character with the pinky ring without a mask on. And then there's some sequences in the trailer where what we think is Michael Myers is like swinging a knife, but the ring is on his pinky finger.
Because I haven't seen the trailer, because I didn't want to look up anything for it. Does the camera specifically focus in on his hand?
No.
No?
No, but it's there and it's very obvious.
Yeah, they weren't hiding it. It's not like the fiasco with the Spider-Man where Marvel Argentina's Twitter page accidentally put something out on Twitter. It's like, it's there.
And another thing in the trailer is there is a sequence where supposedly Michael is sneaking into this room to come after Laurie, and the hand that he puts on the door to open the door is his left hand.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got all 5 fingers.
Yep.
But we know that he had his pinky finger and his ring finger blown off by Laurie Strode in Halloween 2018. So it would have been 4 years ago, in movie time. Correct me if I'm wrong, not even Michael Myers can grow his limbs back.
No.
Let alone fingers,
See, it's stuff like that. It doesn't take a college professor to see stuff like that. It's like,
no, yeah.
They made a point to show us that he got his hand blown off.
Agreed. All right, Nick, go ahead and take the next
let
one.
me see. I gotta pick one out here.
They're just gonna keep getting worse and worse, aren't they?
Let's see. I don't know. I feel like the rest of them are just straight up spoilers. It doesn't seem like. Oh, here's a good one.
Yeah,
Here's a good
like
one.
you
Hold
said,
on. Here's a good one.
anybody
I got a good one.
I don't think they care.
Okay, so would you believe Michael Myers had 10 kills and Corey, the copycat killer, had 12?
Man. That just God. I mean, at this point, yeah, sure, because we're just taking the gloves off of
Wrong.
stupidity.
It's worse. Michael Myers has 2. The copycat has 12.
No,
I'm not
from
kidding.
Halloween. From Halloween Kills, because he definitely kills a lot fucking more than 2 people.
And no, in the next movie.
Oh, like overall?
Yeah.
Oh.
2 people, and it's apparently a nurse and a cop. So they're really just laying it on thick. They're really not.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
I really hope that one is not true.
Here's the thing, right? They're like, this is the end. But they're kind of only saying it's the end for Laurie and Michael. It seems like they're going to try to keep the rights, and they're going to try to move this new killer on to be the
new shape.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
No, don't. I hope they don't do that.
Okay, so, all right, I've got one for you, Andrew. And this one may be the most ridiculous of them all, at least to me. All right, so this Corey character, would you believe that at some point
copycat.
the copycat, whatever, if he even is a copycat, would you believe that at some point in this movie, Corey, who is branded as a monster, also at some point in this movie for supposedly killing a kid he was babysitting at some point, supposedly, is beaten up by some bullies and thrown off a bridge in 2019 or whatever. And out of nowhere, Michael Myers finds him and drags him into the sewers. So this is leading us to believe that Michael Myers has been living in the sewers of Haddonfield for 4 years.
And he has also somehow grown empathy for the first time in his entire fucking
we
life.
don't know why.
We don't know why.
Blake, after this, I have some stuff that I found out today that's not on that list, and I can elaborate on that a little bit.
Ooh, nice. Okay, and this is a twofer. Andrew. So Michael Myers drags this Corey kid into the sewers, but Michael is very old and very weak now after 4 years of living in the sewers and having his injuries from 2018 and Kills. Corey then takes advantage of this and beats up Michael Myers steals his mask.
No, that's it. No, I say no. The answer is no.
You would be wrong, my friend, because supposedly
we live in the worst timeline.
Yeah, supposedly this sequence is in the upcoming Halloween Ends.
Supposedly.
You're lying.
He beats up Michael Myers.
So that's the theory, is that's where he gets the mask from. So not only does he beat him up, but he runs his pockets too.
I'll say this right now. The only way that, leak, twist, whatever, has a satisfying, ending is if Michael recuperates, fucking murders his ass, puts the mask back on, and survives. That's it. It's some, red herring.
So we can go into that a little further at the end of the movie. Do you think that Laurie kills Corey? Hold on, I'll wait for Blake to stop vaping.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. I thought I muted myself. Sorry.
It's fine. Do you think that Laurie kills Corey? Do you think that Michael kills Corey? Or do you think that Corey kills himself?
Michael kills Corey.
Corey kills himself.
No.
So the whole plot, I guess Corey's storyline is that, so for what Blake said, the town has turned on him for apparently killing this kid. And a lot of his motivation in this movie is that he is obsessed with Allison, Laurie's granddaughter. At the end of the movie, he declares,
Oh god, I can already see that being real. Because
if I
then
can't
it's the
have
new
her,
Michael being obsessed with the new Laurie.
Exactly.
Oh no, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
I already see it. I already see these motherfuckers sitting in a writing room thinking they're so goddamn smart.
So this is what happens, this is what allegedly happens, we don't know for sure, that Corey decides, if I can't have her, I don't want to live anymore, and he kills himself in front of Laurie.
Ugh.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
I'm gonna say no, because I still have some faith in humanity.
That all is apparently gonna happen. So
No.
It's insane. It's like they're going too far. The only movie that really, a lot of people disagree, but I happen to love Friday the 13th Part 5. it was complete trickery and they fooled everyone. But this sounds ridiculous.
Like they're trying to riff on it.
Yeah, well, they're like blatantly trying to replace Michael Myers. Like he doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
like one
I
of the
mean-
most iconic characters in all movie history, let alone horror movie history.
Yeah, I mean, if all of this is true, they may as well have just like renamed this Corey character Roy Burns.
Right.
You know, at this point, it's like, okay, the copycat killer thing has been done 40 fucking years, almost 40 fucking years ago with Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning. You know, why do that? Why do that? That is the most heinous cop-out you could do in these kind of movies. You know, so going back to the whole thing where Corey beats up Michael Myers, you know, it's like, okay, I get it. Dude's in his 60s. He's been shot. He's been stabbed. He's had blood loss, you know, whatever. But he's the embodiment of evil, and the kid is beating you up.
Yeah, no, that
And-
would
and
be a
stealing
huge
your face?
disservice to the character.
I agree.
Also,
Absolutely.
what's more realistic, that he kills an entire group of people freshly after he was wounded all these times, or years later where he has time to recuperate a little bit and a teenager comes and punks him in the sewer?
Like
Exactly.
in his own, like
Yeah.
in his home turf.
Yeah, it doesn't
Like,
make
if
any
he
sense.
actually has been living there for years without
Yeah.
doing anything for the like on any Halloween in like what 2-3 years.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like a 4-year time gap. I think Ends is supposed to take place in 2022.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh my
remember correctly.
god. So this is something that is out there. This isn't even a theory. Andrew, they're implementing COVID in some way.
Okay, well, I think we've already been there and done that. So
Well, yeah, but it's like, what other movie have you seen since COVID's happened where they even mention it? Not one. Movies
Yeah.
are supposed to be a thing for you to escape
like
your
escapism.
real life.
Yeah.
Let's
No, yeah, I
let's
can't
throw
think
this.
of-
Let's throw this. The worst thing. I mean, aside from 9/11, the worst thing to happen to our generation in a movie you're going to see with your family or whatever. It's like,
Yeah, right, yeah.
come on.
That would not be very tasteful. A
No.
million plus people dead, you know.
Hey, remember
Same.
COVID? Yeah, I had it last week.
Yeah. God, I still
Yeah.
wear a mask every time I go, like for my job, you know, medical career. Every time I go into like like obviously the hospitals, but like even the pharmacies and everything, I still always wear the mask, dude. And, like I can just see like the older people like looking at me like, look at this guy, and it's like, nah, dude, I'm literally transporting COVID samples. Like,
They're like, don't you know it's a liberal hoax?
yeah,
Right? Yeah, I know at my girlfriend's job, she works in a medical office. They have to still wear masks, and where I work, they just made masks mandatory again. I'm guessing somebody tested positive for COVID, or you know, there's a cold going around or something.
Right.
But you know,
I pick
whatever.
up from a company that makes night vision goggles for the government, and they require that you wear a mask. Like, it's still a thing, even if people don't really want to.
Yeah, well, people are
Yeah.
getting too comfortable. That's the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. But yeah, so Nick, you said you had some new juicy details.
Oh yeah, let me bring that up real quick. Hold on. So this kind of, I feel like this might go against the whole sequence in the sewer, but again, nothing we have is 100% legit. So, okay, so it says once Michael. So we're not even gonna ask Andrew if he believes this because I don't even know. This is. Anyway, it's less legit than the stuff we have, but after Corey encounters Michael and survives, Michael pursues him. Corey has already turned at this point and is ready to take out his anger on the town. But he's not really used to killing. So Michael ends up stalking him for a while. Or Michael ends up stalking his first victim after Corey, and Corey witnesses Michael kill that person. And then from then on, Corey's like, okay, that's what I'm going to do. I read that kind of weird, so if you're confused, let me know.
Well, kind of maybe looks up to him as a savior and like, oh, I'm gonna
Or like
emulate what this
an
guy
answer
does.
for getting revenge on the town for turning its back on him or something.
I learned it from watching you,
Yeah.
Dad.
yeah, that's exactly 100%.
Oh my
my
god.
God,
Okay,
no,
so
please.
let me get this straight. So after Corey survives his encounter with Michael Myers and implied stealing his mask, Michael starts stalking Corey, who
Or
is now
or Corey waits
no,
for
so-
Michael to leave the sewer, and he
Mhm.
he follows him, and then he follows him to wherever he kills his first
Oh,
victim
okay.
in a few
Okay.
years. I probably read that wrong. So
got it. Interesting.
If all these
Huh.
leaks are true, it's gonna be worse than the second Rob Zombie Halloween.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
yeah, that's a little
I don't
crazy.
know, man. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
I
close. It's sounding close. Like I can see it. I really hope not, but
I absolutely abhor Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, but even I can find a glimmer of awesomeness, and that was that whole hospital opening sequence.
Oh yeah. Well, that was the
That
only thing
was-
he
yeah, it was
kept
alright.
true to Halloween too. So
Yeah. That was fucking cool. And then for that to all be a dream was just like,
the spit in the
Really?
face.
slap.
Yeah.
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 So while Michael is not teaming up with Corey, he's actively trying to pursue him, or while Corey is actively trying to pursue him, he ends up being an unwilling teacher for Corey. So maybe he sees him kill more than one person. He sees how he sneaks around, whatever. I don't know. It seems weird that Michael wouldn't know he was like following him, and maybe he does know, and he's just like, I don't know.
yeah, I mean,
Let's hope he's
honest-
not the Mr. Miyagi to his.
Oh, God.
I feel like the writers like really overthink
Stab
these Halloween
in,
movies.
stab out. Stab
Yeah,
in,
like-
stab out.
Well,
He's
it's
a
Yeah.
scary
Danny
dude. He
McBride
lurks
and
in the
David Gordon
shadows,
Green.
and
They've
he
written.
scares the shit out of
They
you.
wrote Pineapple Express. Why are they trying hard now? It's like, what's going on?
Well, that's the whole thing with like comedy and horror kind of like partners. Because I mean, Jordan Peele went from like the best skit comedy show to making. Well, I didn't like Us. We didn't
he
like
made
Us,
one
but
good movie. He's
Get
a,
Out was
he's a
great.
he's a hack.
Well, he's got this new one coming out. Yeah. Anyway, getting off topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen Nope yet, but I really like Get Out. I haven't seen Us. It's been on my list.
I hated
I
it.
just haven't got around to it. But
Yeah, we went to go
The-
see it in movies. It's not
but
not a good
what-
movie.
just to touch on this though, what Jordan Peele is doing, and mad props to Jordan Peele, is he's creating original IP.
Yeah, no,
You know,
yeah.
he's bringing
100%, A for effort.
Yeah,
at
He's
least.
bringing something new to a town that is rampant with rehashed ideas and stagnant ideas.
I mean, I don't think there's anything unique about Get Out at all. It's Invasion of the Body Snatchers, basically. Like,
yeah, there are elements
of.
of that to it.
Well,
for
you know
sure.
what he did is he took something that was like super, super topical and like
tastefully.
didn't beat you over the
yeah,
fucking
tastefully put
did
it in the movie.
tastefully in an original way and didn't beat you over the head with it.
But I got to tell you, I mean, all of these supposed leaks just leave a really bad taste in my mouth. You know,
Yeah.
I just
It's the
Granted,
same thing
I'm not
with it's the same thing with kills. They need to pick a lane. It's like they're focusing on more than one. Well, I mean the Umbrella guy wasn't even an antagonist, but they're making him out to be. So it's like, can we just focus on the guy?
yeah, exactly. You know, screw these red herrings bullshit. You know, get down to it. Get down to brass tacks.
Can
you
you
know?
imagine like Halloween Kills where it's like balls to the wall action scenes, but it only lasted like 70 minutes, cut out all the bullshit.
Yeah, that's what
Like, it
people are
would've been
saying. And you know what's
so
crazy,
much
Andrew?
a
They
better movie.
they released an extended cut of that movie. I
Right,
watched some of it
extended
today.
cut, do you mean they took out a lot of the bullshit and it's actually
No,
like,
there's actually some. So in the beginning, when Lonnie's, he just gets word that Michael killed 5 people or whatever.
Lonnie's my least favorite. I'm so happy he died.
I liked adult Lonnie. I don't think
No.
I don't.
He showed up to the house and he's like, I can't
yeah,
even
stay here,
remember
yeah.
Yeah, well, he's like, what are you doing, Lonnie? Like, you brought your kid to the belly of the beast, or like, whatever.
Yeah.
He said, like something like that. But then instead of driving away, he just goes in by himself.
Yeah,
And you know what?
yeah.
Fuck you, Lonnie.
Yeah, you got what you had.
I'm glad
coming,
you
dude.
died. The only shitty part was you got your son killed too.
Yeah, well, his son
Yeah.
was a prick, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I was no fan of Cameron, and I appreciate what they tried to do with him, tried to redeem him in kills. You know, it's like, okay, I was an asshole in the first one, I'm going to step up in this one.
God,
But
they killed him
ultimately,
so
it was for
brutally,
naught, though. It was for naught. He got fucking killed anyway.
Yeah, and the way they killed him was like, don't worry, guys, we got him for what he did in the first one, but they were
Yep.
trying to redeem him, so why murder him so viciously like that?
It was like one of the most brutal kills.
And
in all
he
the
could have
franchise, and it's
been,
like, oh, jeez.
he could have been a really good character if they fleshed him out a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not to draw too much of a. I know I'm really reaching here, right? It's like the difference between season 1 Steve from Stranger Things and season 2 Steve from Stranger Things, where it's like in season 1 he's a giant fucking asshole.
Yeah,
And then in season 2 he becomes the world's greatest babysitter.
right.
You know.
Well, yeah, it's all about writers wanting to make that
Yeah.
anti-hero.
Yeah, exactly. Am I glad they killed Cameron? I wouldn't say I'm glad they killed Cameron, but I think it fit the narrative.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
it
say
makes
we
sense.
gotta
It was
trim the
just like-
fat. There's too many fucking characters to begin with.
Way too many member berries, man.
Yeah,
Agreed.
there's way too many. I was genuinely surprised that Lindsay wasn't taken out because the trailer really, really implied that she was going to get it.
Yeah. And I know that Kyle Richards is reprising her role as Lindsay Wallace in Halloween Ends, but supposedly she's only going to be in about 3 scenes. Whether she dies in Ends, I don't know.
You think she's the first one to go?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
if
it would
she
make a little
is.
sense.
You
That's-
know, they kind
Is
of
that
pull.
Laurie's granddaughter?
No,
No.
you made that mistake before.
Yeah,
No, it's
Yeah.
she's one of the legacy characters.
Yeah,
okay.
Allison
she's
is
the-
There's
Laurie's
two.
grand-
There's two.
yeah.
goddamn
She's the
legacy
little girl
characters.
that Laurie was babysitting in the first movie.
Oh, get the fuck out of here! Come on.
Yeah. Well, Tommy also is the kid she was babysitting in the first movie.
Yeah,
So
And Lonnie also like, get out of here, Lonnie.
yeah, Lonnie, get your ass
Get
away
your
from
ass
there.
away from there. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that was also a weird thing too. Where's Richie and the other bully? Like they're just gone now. They don't live in Haddonfield, or
Probably got wise and moved the fuck away,
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
You're like, fuck this shit.
Yeah, we're getting the fuck out of here. But touching on what you said, Nick, if Lindsay is the first one to get killed, it would just be like killing Rachel in Halloween 5 again.
I think
fan
killing Rachel
favorite.
was a little worse than
It
Lindsay.
was. It was.
Well, not only did they kill Rachel, they gave us Tina. So it
Ugh.
was a kick while we were down. Tina is
Yeah.
arguably next to Sarah from Resurrection the worst antagonist in Halloween ever.
Oh my god. You said the R word.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. But yeah, it was just like it makes no sense. There's so much in this movie makes no sense, and they really got by with, like Andrew said, like when the action sequences were happening, they were entertaining.
Yeah.
But everything
Oh,
in
great.
between didn't
I think they were a
know.
high point of the franchise, like as far as action goes, anyway.
Well, it's the first like not tacky slasher movie in the Halloween franchise. Like 4 obviously came out in like the peak of slasher movies. They were crazy cartoony. Like they weren't realistic at all. This one did it in a way where it's like that guy's actually killing real people. It's not like he's exploding heads by punching them and shit like that. It was
Oh yeah, no, he's doing it in like brutally realistic ways.
right.
Speaking of 4, another throwback thing that I thought was cool, and I know other people have touched on this, like Jimmy Champagne and Dave McRae have touched on this, is what we saw in the trailer is that real awesome actual Halloween holiday aesthetic
Right.
that you saw prominent in Halloween 4. Like, to me, Halloween 4 has the best opening fucking sequence of all of the Halloween movies. And all they did was show some fucking farmland,
Right.
but it had that music and it had that atmosphere
Right.
that you knew that this was, the return of Michael Myers. And then I think in Halloween 2018, they really nailed it with that scene right before that really awesome one take, where it's just that street, houses are lit up. There's people everywhere. They're all dressed up. There's that lady's house that has a million fucking jack-o'-lanterns on it. A lot of that is missing from prior Halloween movies. You know, if this takes place on Halloween, where's all the fucking Halloween decorations?
Right.
Where's all the trick-or-treaters at? You know, I get it, less is more, but there's still an aesthetic you have to throw in there.
No,
you know?
that's like the coolest and also like chillest part or chilliest part of like the Halloween movies is like Michael just walking around in plain sight around everybody on Halloween. Like it's just
absolutely
fucking spooky.
Well, I'd say the nightlife in Halloween 2 was there, but obviously we spent most of the time at the hospital. It makes more sense for the earlier sequels to not have people running around because Michael Myers just killed people. This is 40 years later. So it makes more sense that people are running around. It's like, who cares at that point? Most of the people running around probably don't even know about it.
Years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Halloween 4 took place 10 years after the first one.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it in Halloween 5, and then, you know, in Halloween 6 they banned Halloween. But like with Halloween 4, you know, he's been gone for 10 years. You know, he's been locked up in whatever Ridgemont sanitarium for 10 years. So, you know, maybe loosen up, and they did for all intents and purposes in Halloween 4. Halloween 5, yeah, dude, last year you fucking killed this bunch of people. You know, let's chill out here for a little bit.
And not only that, with 2018, he only killed 5 people. He had Halloween 1 and Halloween 2, so it was like way more than just the 5 people.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, going forward, you know, again, we don't know if any of these things are true. You know, anything that we've said here, it's all speculation. But even if a fraction of these things, knock on wood. I mean, even if a fraction of these things end up in the movie, you know, I don't want to go so far as to say it's going to be disappointing. Halloween Ends could be fucking rad. It could be the coolest Halloween movie ever. But if any of these things are true, then, you know, I don't know. I hope they're not.
I mean, a lot of this stuff is kind of leaning more towards being true already with the trailer coming out.
Yeah, even if only 10% of the leaks are true, that's still like, ooh, that's a hard. I mean,
everyone at this point basically knows for sure there is a copycat killer, and it is Corey. That is what we almost 100% know.
Like, well, that's the part that also seems the most believable because it's like
unless
they're
Michael
trying to set up the next generation.
Yeah.
You know?
Unless Michael stole this kid's ring and put it on his pinky and then started killing people. That.
Oh, there we go. Yes.
Yeah.
Please, somebody call Danny McBride right now.
Yeah, I mean, if unless that's what happened, there's a copycat.
Yeah, I mean, if Michael did that, it'd be like, oh, look, Michael is wearing a Corey costume. You know, whatever. Okay, yeah. I get it, but I mean, to touch on what you said about setting up the next generation, it may be blasphemous for me to say this, but does there need to be a next generation?
No, let's wrap this shit up.
Yeah. No. That's the problem.
Look, even if it's never touched again, let someone else take a shot at it.
Yeah. Could or should they try and do what they did with Halloween 3 and go the anthology route?
No.
Well, you know, I think that maybe they could do a spin-off, you know, of Halloween contained within the Halloween universe, right? Where everything that has happened in 78, 2018, Kills and Ends, you know, happened in this universe. But, you know, if Michael Myers is truly killed, dead and gone at the end of Ends, you know, then where do you go from there? Do you say this is it? Or do you try and do something else with the IP?
Well, what worries me about that is Malek Akkad back when 2018 came out was talking about making a TV show based in Haddonfield.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what?
Yeah, we don't need a Bates Motel of the Halloween universe.
Bates Motel is not even a good example. That show is good. It's like...
Well, yeah, sure, but we don't need like multiple seasons of it.
Weird example. It's like season 3 of the Scream TV show. It was so out of place. It was ridiculous. They were really trying to keep it going.
Did not even know Scream had a TV show.
I liked... Well,
it did.
I mean, if you get past all the them, their demographic, it was on MTV, their demographic is teens. Once you get
that makes sense.
once you get past all of that stuff, it's a really good show. But season
it has
3
some brutal fucking kills.
Oh
in it.
yeah.
For an MTV show, like there were ones that made me go, "Holy shit, that was cool!"
Right, and that's what kept me watching it. But then MTV owns VH1, but MTV didn't. They had production issues, and it wasn't going anywhere. So MTV was like, just take it and pawned it off to VH1, and they fucking ran it to the ground. It was horrible.
Scream is great, dude. That's funny that I didn't even know.
Oh,
that
we can
was a
talk
Scream
about the
TV
new
show.
one. Andrew, have you seen it?
I have not seen it. No,
You gotta come. You gotta come over and watch it. It's fucking
All right.
horrible.
Oh no! I knew. That's why. That's why.
Oh,
like, with
man,
these new
that's
movies that I'm
crazy.
really looking forward to, I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna watch it right away, and I'll see like what, like, you know, not any spoilers, but like what people are saying about it. And the number one worst thing that can happen when like something new comes out is there's nothing. There's nobody talking about it.
Yeah.
That means
100%.
it's fucking bad.
You know, it's funny. We're talking about these big franchises that they're throwing these spins on for no reason. This one's got a doozy. It is ridiculous.
I agree. And for anybody who hasn't seen Scream 5, or as I like to call it, 5 Cream, we will clearly, inevitably talk about this in a later episode, but I will put my 2 cents on it right now. I thought it was okay. There were parts that really pissed me off. Nick, you know what I'm talking about,
yeah.
without even going unsaid.
Yeah.
But, we'll talk about that later, And I think as we're going to be wrapping things up here in this episode, love it or hate the new trilogy, the David Gordon Green, Halloween movies.
First one, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah,
Second one, yeah.
not so much.
First, yeah.
But
Not so much.
Yeah, then again, not
Second
everybody
one, yeah.
liked Empire Strikes Back either, and it ended up being the greatest.
You know what?
Yeah,
You
well,
say
those
about
people are
originals, they
fucking.
were
Those
just
people are
wrong.
fucking idiots.
Yeah, that's the greatest Star Wars movie of all time.
It
fight me.
is.
Yeah, that's
I-
like someone we know that we all know actually prefers Return of the Jedi over Empire, and I almost got in a fist fight with him about it.
Yeah, well, we could say a few things
Like,
about
come
that
on.
person, but we're not going to go
Yeah,
into
no.
that right now.
Wait, but maybe we'll
Andy.
do a whole episode on it.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Can we do a Dan anthology?
Yeah.
Oh God, let's
I
not
think
say we did.
there's plenty of content of that.
Yeah, B-Toad.
But yeah,
yeah. I mean, I don't blame you.
so the thing,
Me,
so
me
you
of
got,
all people, especially.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you said the thing about like how again we're gonna wrap this up, but I gotta get this out of my stupid brain. 2018 was really good. I mean, I loved it. People were shitting on it
liked it.
ferociously.
I
I
thought
liked
it
it a
was good.
lot. I
I
didn't think
didn't
there was
love it, but I thought it
no,
was
but I
pretty
didn't
good.
think there was anything particularly disrespectful in that movie. Like they kept
No,
true to the
it was
original
true.
movie.
It was true to the faith. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good sequel. I put it up there with Halloween 2 as far as sequels go. I loved it.
Yeah, sure.
And
I
then
thought
in
it
the
was good.
trailer for Kills, they put that firefighter scene in the trailer. Obviously none of us knew that was like the best sequence in the movie. So you see
Yeah.
the trailer and you're like, "Oh, that can't be the best thing in the movie
Oh,
because
I
it's in the
remember
trailer."
we watched it. We watched the trailer as soon as it came out together, and I was like, "Oh, dude, if Michael just goes on an absolute killing spree.
Right,
It's
right.
like this the whole movie. It's gonna be insane."
And then nope. So
Evil dies tonight. Hospital.
yeah.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, Halloween 2018. I feel that it did so good as a quote unquote true sequel to the original. If we're going by canon here, I think they did a great job of showing the effects of mental illness on Laurie Strode. Her battles with alcoholism and her trauma that she has held within her for 40 years.
Yeah, that part
Right.
felt pretty realistic. Like,
And
I feel like
then-
most people would be like, "No, fuck that. They're they're still
Exactly.
alive. They're coming for me."
But
Exactly.
but I think there's a little movie called H2O that handled her
That also
alcoholism.
tackles that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, well, you know where that is? That's in the fucking trash
Yeah,
now.
it's
That's
gone.
like, nope, didn't happen.
Oh, your favorite Halloween movie? fuck you. Here's a new one.
Exactly. That's in the can. And I think 2018 definitively answers the question, was Michael Myers out to kill Laurie Strode the whole time? No, she was just in the wrong place at the wrong time in both movies.
Well, especially when he kills Vicky and she just shows up and starts shooting at him, and he's like, yeah,
who the fuck are you?
Do we know each other?
Like Michael, like he didn't even purposefully go after Laurie.
He didn't even bat an
once
eye.
he finally realized it was her, he did
the only reason,
and it was like, oh, it's you.
Well, the only reason he even made it to Laurie to begin with is because he chased Allison and she ran to her house. He was never after her.
No, never. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a matter of circumstance.
She's just
which is why
the most unlucky motherfucker in the entire world.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, even in the Halloween novelizations, the recent ones, it kind of goes into like a POV of Michael, and he, in his mind, refers to Laurie as she who won't die. Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
A little kind corny, but she who won't die is how Michael Myers is picturing.
Well, I mean, actually, the Michael Myers inner monologue isn't really a good thought for me, but
I feel for Michael, the one that would make the most sense, we all had that girl who got away. For him, it would be like, oh yeah, she's the one who got away.
But she's not. He doesn't care at all when he sees her.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, oh, what a happy coincidence.
I mean, but like I was saying, it puts to bed that theory. No, he was not ever originally out to get her. She showed up at the Myers house in the original. She became his obsession. He started stalking her. That led to all the kills in Halloween 78. And Michael was basically literally dropped off at Laurie Strode's doorstep by that idiot Sartain in 2018 because he wanted to see Michael hunt in the wild, which is, what the fuck? What sort of medical professional does that? Nobody.
Hands down the worst part.
And,
absolutely.
Well, the most ridiculous...
He was a MacGuffin.
The most ridiculous part is that he says that he was like Loomis's apprentice or something. It's like, Loomis didn't get you to do all this shit.
No, Loomis wanted that motherfucker dead.
Oh, hell yeah.
It has to die. Yeah, he said he was a student of Dr. Loomis. That could go any number
clearly
of
he was
ways.
a really fucking horrible
really bad
I
student.
was a student until I flunked out in my first semester.
Until I flunked out of Michael Myers 101. One question, the fucking quiz. Does he need to die? Yes, he needs to die.
Yes, he does.
And then, kills... love or hate kills. And I feel like I'm saying love it or hate it a lot.
Yeah, you've said that a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, it kind of works with these movies. You got people who either love them or hate them. Especially these Halloween movies. It delivered what it promised on and that was being a brutal fucking movie, and it was. But it was a brutal movie that had a lot of unnecessary bullshit in it.
Well, it's because they were just filling in the gaps for the gore at that point.
Yes, exactly. And then with Halloween Ends, who knows? We're going to find out in October, and I hope we're wrong.
Oh, Andrew, you want to hear something real interesting I forgot to tell you? David Gordon, are you familiar with Christine, the movie and book?
No.
It's a John Carpenter movie. The book is written by Stephen King. It's about a car who murders people.
Oh, yeah.
So David Gordon Green recently made a comparison to the new movie with Christine. I don't know what the fuck it's supposed to mean.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, he said he presented the script to John Carpenter and asked if it was too much like Christine. So anyway.
So Michael is a car.
Yeah.
Is what you're talking about.
So
He's
I think
a
what he was going
for murder is what you're saying.
Well, I think what he was going for there was the evil of Michael Myers. Did it infect Corey? Just as the evil of Christine infected Archie Cunningham in Christine and turned him into, kind of a fucking psycho who kills people with his car. Is that sort of evil infectious? I don't think so. I think Michael Myers as a character, as the shape.
Tacky.
Well, I mean, anything's possible now. It's like they're throwing the realism out the window. So
that is true.
Also, I think that David Gordon Green just needs to get his fucking head out of John Carpenter's ass and let him make the music, and that's it. And that's coming from me. I fucking love John Carpenter.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
We watched The Thing a couple weeks ago, and it was like you were like, oh, hey, this guy, his cousin's second wife gave John Carpenter a handy under the table. I was like, how the fuck do you know that? Like,
But I mean, I think when it comes to David Gordon Green and John Carpenter, I think there's a little too much hero worshiping going on.
Yeah.
I would never presume to speak for John Carpenter, but he's clearly distanced himself from these movies for a long time because he's just tired of it.
Right.
he's too old for this shit.
Look. So there's tons of examples of it. H2O for one was like the big comeback for everyone. Jamie Lee Curtis wanted to get Deborah Hill, John Carpenter, everyone back into the movie and involved. He didn't do it because he thought Mustafa Akkad owed him like $10 million or something, and the Akkads wouldn't pay. It was the same thing.
Yeah, and there's a whole lot behind that.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't. I don't know why he's. And it was the same thing with Rob Zombie. Like Rob Zombie said, he gave John Carpenter a call when he made the remix, and John Carpenter was like, "Make it your own thing. Good luck, whatever." Like he's not involved because he's forcing his way in. But
he's too busy fucking playing video games and making music.
Yeah,
like, leave the man alone. Like he's contributed more to cinema than
also
like,
that's one of the things for me. It's like we've already laid a foundation for the soundtrack for the next movie. Can we stop? I want John Carpenter to do these soundtracks, but can we stop so I can get another Lost Themes album? Because that's what I'm waiting for.
Yes, please. Please.
Come on.
Yeah, Lost Themes, Volume 35. Fucking shut up and take my money.
Fucking just release it every year until he dies.
Yeah, but I mean, going back to Carpenter, for me, I think it's just a been there, done that situation. I've been there, I've done that. I bought the T-shirt.
Well, he felt that way after the first movie. He was like, I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't even want to do a sequel, but it is what it is.
I mean, good thing he did because Halloween 2 is fucking great.
Dude,
but then,
awesome.
Yeah, but then...
There's a few good Halloweens after that, but, it went a little off
then
the
we
rails.
made Rick Rosenthal think he can direct, and then he eventually directed Resurrection, so...
Not the
number 2. Third time, and we're all fucked.
But yeah, I mean, so wrapping this thing up, guys, if I hope Halloween Ends is awesome, I'm not going to get my hopes up because I got my hopes up for Kills and I was let down.
Yeah, we're not trying to like rag on it. Anything. Like I think we all want it to be good. Well, yeah, you might be able to. Yeah, well, if these leaks are true,
well,
then
dude, I remember when we were in the theater, we went with a couple of our buddies too, and someone was in between me and Andrew, and I'm like, hey, ask Andrew how much he fucking hates this movie so far. And
it's Dylan. Yeah,
Dylan, and he passed it on, and Andrew's like, it's okay, I guess, and I was like, we are not watching the same movie. This is terrible.
well, you know what? Is because it was like after the firefighter scene, and it was like, oh yeah, all right, let's keep this.
Yeah, but the second Tommy started with that dialogue, or no, that had already happened. I don't know who it was that really threw. Oh, it was like Karen and Allison at the hospital, like their dialogue.
And also, I was just slamming Fireball like in the theater. So like that. I mean,
anyway. But at the end of the day, will I go see it? Fuck yeah. Will I eat popcorn and enjoy myself? Fuck yeah. But I won't have any high expectations.
Yeah, no.
Regardless if it's good or bad, I'm going to see it, and I know it's going to be a good time.
Well, it's depressing because I had such a low bar for Kills, and somehow it's still disappointed me.
Well, you know what the fuck? At the theater, you remember, Nick, they put, because it came out on Peacock for streaming the same night, but we wanted to go watch it in theaters, obviously. And they obviously, it wasn't like a reel or whatever they do, behind the scenes at the theater. It was clearly them streaming it from Peacock. And whoever put it on left the subtitles on, so the entire movie in the movie
Are
theater,
you shitting me?
the subtitles were on. Nick got up and left. And the only person he could find working there was working the concession stand, and he went in to go talk to him, and they were like, I don't know.
Yeah, I went up to the guy, I'm like, hey, there's subtitles on in Theater 10, and he's like, okay. And I'm like, you gonna shut him off? Or and he's like, I don't know how. I'm like, all right, fuck myself, I guess. See you later.
Yeah, well, it's like, I sell M&Ms and popcorn, man. What do you want me to do?
Okay, it takes a click of a mouse. Put some effort in, you fucker.
Yeah, also at the same time. Like, yeah, I'm sure you
Jesus Christ, that's...
Yeah, the subtitles.
It was so frustrating. God. It was because then not only were we witnessing the horrible lines being read, but we could read them before they even happened.
Fuck.
I mean, it was actually
that.
kind of a good analogy for how that movie turned out to be. If
Yeah.
you think about it.
All right. It's so hot in my room. I got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, let's wrap
Yeah,
it up.
let's wrap
go
it
to the
up.
bathroom.
All right. Well, that's going to be it for this episode of the Horror Spot podcast. I hope you enjoyed what you heard. Come back next time where we're going to talk about Scream 5, or as I said, as I like to call it, 5 Cream. If you could do us all a favor and subscribe, hit that bell notification, or bell icon rather, to get all notifications for updates. That would really help us out a lot. And we'll talk to you next time. Peace.